my channel. Welcome back to another video. I'm Messy Jessie and you're watching. I have waited all year to make this video. Y'all have waited all year for me to make this video. It is finally here. I said that I wanted to get the pre-orders released on October 31st and it is October 31st. It is Halloween. I have to film this and edit it and get it up really quick so that y'all can see it. But I'm just so excited, and I'm gonna give you all of the details on the TBR cards, where you can pre-order them, the breakdown of the pricing, the specs of the cards, just all of the information that you need to decide whether or not you want to order a deck for yourself. Now, first and foremost, I wanna make sure that I say you are under no obligation to buy these cards. Do not feel pressured. Even if you are like my booktube bestie, if you're one of my really close booktube friends, if you don't want to buy these cards, you do not have to. I will not be offended. I will not be mad at you. I promise. If you are a family member watching this, you don't have to buy the cards either if you don't want to. Like, these cards are literally just for people who are interested in them. And if you are like, what are you talking about? What's going on? These cards are essentially cards with artwork on them and prompts associated with that artwork. And they just give me creative ideas on what kinds of books to select. So some of the cards will have diversity oriented prompts. So like, picking up a book that has a disabled main character, or picking up a book that is by an author of color, or a queer author, or queer protagonist, etc. And then other prompts will have things like, pick a book that matches your current outfit, or pick a book that your favorite villain would like to read, stuff like that. So the cards were basically just a way for me to keep myself reading with inclusion and diversity in mind, and also to keep me reading creatively and to keep my reading fun and exciting. So basically the way that I play it is I roll 1 or 2 dice, and the dice will tell me how many cards to pull out from my deck. So this is the original deck that I created to play on this channel, and so many of y'all were really interested in getting decks of your own, and that's what this video is. So for the past year, I've been trying to figure out how to make it possible to get y'all these decks. The deck that I came up with, I just used basic illustrations, images from the internet that are subject to copyright. So I ended up commissioning an artist who is a part of the booktube community, Olivia Simone. She's an incredible artist, and she designed all of the illustrations for the official deck of TBR cards. And they're beautiful. I will leave Olivia's channel linked down below. Before we get started, I just really want to thank y'all for being so understanding and patient as I figured out how to make these cards happen. I had no idea how to make such a large scale project possible. When I started this endeavor, I had no idea how monumentous the startup costs would be, reoccurring costs, legal fees, and just the basic logistics of pulling off a project of this magnitude. Seriously, originally I had planned for maybe 100 of you to want decks. I was planning on making the decks by hand, sending them out to maybe 100 of you tops, and then just being done with the project. I was not expecting to receive literally hundreds of messages from y'all with tons of questions asking when the cards are going to be available, when y'all could get your hands on them. I was completely unprepared for the volume of those of you who were interested in these cards, but it was really, really beautiful to see how many of y'all were interested in this idea and who really wanted to own decks to call your very own. I'm honestly still shocked. I'm still shocked. And if I had known from the start, like, I'm gonna be honest, if I had known from the very start how huge this project would get and how difficult it would be to get it off the ground, I would have been way too scared to try and even attempt it. I would have been way too scared. I do not have a background in business, and I have no experience trying to pull something like this off. It's been stressful and scary, and it has taken months of consistent planning, of research into like production companies and just a million other little logistic things. Just because of the sheer volume of those of you who express interest in the decks, I realized, okay, no, I have to go with a production company because there's just no way I can make all those decks by hand. I mean, I could, but it would take several months between orders. And I know that that would have driven y'all absolutely crazy. I thank y'all so much for your patience and your grace as I figured out all of these details. Seriously, thank you for having my back and for showing me grace as I navigated this incredibly scary process. If it weren't for your consistent messages and questions over the last 10 months, I would have given up a long time ago, okay? I honestly would have just given up, but I kept going because so many of y'all were really waiting for and excited for these cards, and those were the messages that kept me being like, nope, okay, I need to figure it out. I need to push through. I need to make this happen. And now I can say, because of your love and your support, the cards are now a part of the world. Also, as an additional thank you for those of y'all who were able to donate to the fundraiser, I am giving each of you $5 off of a final deck. So just send me a screenshot of your donation, or you can forward the confirmation email that you received when you donated. Whatever is easiest for you. I honestly don't care what format verification comes in, and then I will message you back with a discount code. And also, I am so excited to announce that the winner of the giveaway for the Jesse's deck of TBR cards is none other than Kim Henderson. So Kim, please email me. My email is linked down below in the description. Send me an email with your address and I will get you out a deck as soon as possible. Thank you so much to everybody who donated. And now for the fun stuff. Now it is time to get into the specs of the cards. So each deck of Jesse's TBR cards comes with 53 playing cards, as well as a 54th card that comes just giving you information on the deck, the background, the artist, just, you know, all the little fun stuff. The cards are printed on 310 GSM linen, which is the best available, best high quality card stock. It's also the most expensive card stock, but quality was absolutely critical. I was not about to send out some ratchet, raggedy ass cards to y'all, and I'm gonna give you an example as to why quality was so freaking important. So this is the original deck that I created. So I'll just show you for the back of the cards. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but these are on like basic cardstock, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's scratches on the card, and I've been very gentle with these cards. So the lower level quality means that the printing, like the image printing, isn't going to be great, and also that the cards are going to be very prone to scratching and bending and being flimsy. I don't know if you can see the scratches on this at all. I'm like trying. Can you see? I'm not insane. They're there, I promise. And then also, like, if you just go like bend it a little, it keeps its shape, you know? It's just not, it's not a good look. And so I decided to make the cards a little bit more expensive so that you were actually getting a higher quality product that would last you for longer, as opposed to going cheaper and getting like these really thin, flimsy cards that are going to scratch and not going to do you any good. They're also, all of the cards are going to be poker sized, and they are going to arrive in a tin case. This isn't going to be the official image that's going to be on the case. I'm going to put the image right here so that you can see what the image is going to look like. And also on the website, you are going to be able to see like the image that's going to be on the cards, as well as samples of the artwork, etc. And I originally wasn't going to do the tin cases, but so many of you, I was just going to do like the normal like flimsy paper tuck boxes, but so many of you expressed interest in getting the tin cases, so I really hope that y'all are happy with this, and it's just going to be more durable. You can put them in your backpack, you can carry them around without worrying about the paper tuck box falling apart and getting dirty and all of that fun stuff. Okay, now let's talk about price. I know y'all have questions about the price, so I'm going to give you the breakdown. Each deck will retail for $25, so the cost of a hardcover book. Now, this is priced in line with the market for specialty card games, and the price doesn't take into account that these are the first cards of its kind, and it also doesn't take labor into account. Hi. Hi. Okay. Do you want to film this with me, or no? You just wanted your time in the spotlight. Okay. Come sit. Then we're going to the dog park after this, and she knows, and so she's just like, hey, don't forget about me. You better wrap this video up and take me to the park. Okay. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna move faster. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. To be absolutely certain that I was being fair and giving y'all the best price possible, I literally hired an accountant to run the numbers and come up with the cheapest price that I could reasonably sell these cards for. He actually told me more than once during the process that I should be selling these cards at a higher price point, but I promised y'all from the beginning that I was gonna do everything in my power, short of sacrificing on quality, to make these cards as cheap as possible, as affordable as possible, especially with the pandemic going on. Like, that accessibility is so important to me. I want y'all to be able to get your hands on these cards if you want to. Now, if I'm able to sell all of the decks that I've ordered, I'll have just enough money to order more decks and to set aside money for the expansion decks that y'all are really, really excited about. For those of you who aren't aware, the expansion decks are gonna be like a romance deck, a thriller deck. I would love to do a deck for Pride Month. Now, those decks aren't gonna be 54 card decks because it just won't be economically reasonable to keep coming out with decks of this magnitude, but there'll be smaller expansion decks that you can add on to this. I'm already getting so many questions about the romance deck, and I'm really glad that you're excited for it. So I've started planning for that now. So the future expansion decks are just going to be smaller decks that you can use to add on and go along with the main deck. Now, full transparency, it is very likely that I will not be able to sustain selling the cards at this price point. So in the future, when I order future rounds of decks, there is a chance that the price will have to go up $3 or $4. Hopefully not, though. I'm just telling you now for purposes of transparency. I'm literally sharing all of this information not to stress anybody out, but because transparency is really, really important to me. Keeping y'all updated throughout this whole process has been very important to me, so I want to make sure that I'm still doing that. I'm definitely not going to be rolling in the dough. I actually won't see returns from this project for quite a while, but that is completely fine with me. I'm completely fine with that because the greatest joy is going to be seeing people with these cards and playing TBR cards. And like, I can't wait to see your TBRs. I can't wait to see what authors and books you discover that you may not have reached for without these cards. Seeing people pick up diverse authors, marginalized authors of various marginalizations is so important to me. And also, I'm going to say these cards are not the only way in the world to read diversely, right? This is just one way to do that. There are so many ways to read with diversity and inclusion in mind that don't equal buying a deck of these cards. Okay, now let's talk about shipping. It has been impossible to calculate shipping without like knowing your actual addresses. But y'all have questions about shipping, which is totally reasonable. So I've been trying to brainstorm and figure out like how I can get you quotes on shipping. So what I did was I went to the post office and I brought this deck, which the weight and dimensions are essentially the same as the final deck is going to be. And so I brought this and I was like, hey, how much would it cost to ship this in this size parcel to, let's say, California from Minnesota, where I live? And the quote that I was given at USPS was $4 for shipping. Now, I'm selling these on Etsy, and Etsy has quoted me at like $3 for shipping from Minnesota to California. So shipping should be around $5 just to be safe, which isn't bad. And I'm also going to be offering international shipping for those of you who are not in the United States. And then I'm also still looking into getting an account with stamps.com and like starting a website via Shopify because they give you like a 60 to 70% discount with USPS shipping, I believe. I'm still looking into all those options to keep shipping costs as low as I possibly can for y'all. Okay, last thing, let's move into talking about the Etsy. So I'm starting an Etsy for now. I would love to have my own website for the TBR cards, but that is going to be down the line. The cards will be available officially in 2 to 3 weeks, potentially even sooner, but we're gonna say 2 to 3 weeks just to be safe. The link is down below. You can pre-order right now, which is so freaking exciting. Y'all are literally able to start pre-ordering right now. If you don't wanna use the link, you can also just go on Etsy and search TBR cards. That is an option as well. Stay tuned on my socials and on the Etsy because the second that the cards arrive, I'm going to be sharing videos and pictures. So freaking excited for y'all to see these cards in their glory. Also, don't forget there are images already on the Etsy that you can check out too. Also, another little thing, Etsy says that the product is handmade, and I selected the option saying, hey, I didn't hand make this product, I made it with the assistance of a production company, but it still says handmade. So I didn't put that on there on purpose. I'm not trying to pass these cards off as me making it by hand or anything. For some reason, that's just what Etsy says. So I just wanted to clear that up in case anybody had any questions about that. Full disclosure, I'm telling you now so that y'all don't get mad at me later. It takes the production company a while to make these decks. And I have no way of really predicting how long it will take for this shipment that I've ordered to sell out. It totally depends on the pre-orders and the sales. But I will say that whenever this first shipment does sell out, it is going to take about a month to be safe for new cards to arrive. So once these decks sell out, you will have to wait a month. Just telling you now because there's nothing that I can do about that. I'm so sorry. So just plan on a month for restock time. Finally, I know this has been so much. I'm so sorry this video is so long. Finally, if y'all have any experience with production for card games and you have any tips on how to cut costs, please send me an email. My email is down below in the description box. I have been researching this topic. I have been researching companies for months. So chances are I already know whatever you might say, but please send me an email anyway, just because, you know, you never know. The most important thing is I would love to find ways to make these cards as cheap as possible. I'm pretty sure that I have done that already, but you can never know what you don't know, right? So I hope that this price is accessible for y'all. I hope that you are as excited about these cards as I am. I'm over the moon, y'all. And I just, once again, I want to thank you for your patience and your grace and all of the love y'all have shown me as I figured out how to make this happen. I'm really excited and I can't wait for y'all to get your cards. I just can't wait. That is gonna do it for this video. Happy Halloween, everybody. The best day of the year. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below with the word Ouija. I don't know how it's pronounced, but O-U-I-J-A, because I am wearing my Ouija board planchette necklace. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would absolutely love it if you became a part of my bookish family. All of my social media links are gonna be linked down below. Until next time, stay safe and remember, if Hannibal the Cannibal can wear a mask, then so can you.